What normally would be my top story of the day on Tuesdays is a Monday Night Football reaction. But then you had the Robert Saleh issue, the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, potentially Devontae Adams, which that will happen in some retrospect. But now we get to what happened last night between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. Even if I didn't watch 1 second of this game, and of course I did, that's my job. I figure out, find storylines, who's playing well, who's not playing well, whatever. But even if you didn't watch this game and you just saw Kansas City Chiefs beat New Orleans Saints any amount of score to any amount of score, you just know it looked exactly like it's supposed to. The Chiefs are the only team in the NFL that I have any stock in. Last year, I projected them to finish worse than they did the year before, not better. I didn't think they'd be a Super Bowl team because of the deficiencies at the wide receiver position, but it doesn't matter. This team just wins. And fans will try to make excuses for them. Fans will try to say they have the officials in their back pockets. Think about this. I know this might be hard for the casual fan to wrap their head around. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs are just better than your favorite team. Because not only now are they defensive-led, and a quarterback in Patrick Mahomes who hasn't been outstanding, although was much better last night this far through the season. They have a defense that will hold you in check. A New Orleans Saints offense that we thought was amazing through the first 2 weeks of the season. Couldn't do anything on the Kansas City Chiefs. It's such a lazy comparison, and I'm not going to act like I'm the first one to notice this. And I'm not going to act like it's an ingenious take. They're just the New England Patriots. It feels like in the NFL, once one dynasty dies, another one grows and takes its place. And that's what's happened with the New England Patriots dynasty and then immediately now into the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty. I want to pick against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I love greatness. I love watching Patrick Mahomes. It's not anything against the Chiefs. I just, like everyone else, human nature, I want something different. But I can't in good conscience say any team has a chance to dethrone the Chiefs so far through the season. If I had to pick one team to put any stock in, because I haven't seen it yet in the biggest stage in the playoffs, it would be the Texans. But younger quarterback, defensive head coach, unsure about the offense at times, a lot of mouths to feed. Nico Collins is now injured. If you're telling me to pick that game, I'm taking the Chiefs. And here's what happens with the Chiefs in every game, at least so far this season. Defensive battle, hard-fought game all the way till late in the second half, about halfway through the third quarter. Patrick Mahomes gets it going and makes enough plays in crunch time that your quarterback cannot make and eventually wins the game. It's what it is every single time. Rashee Rice goes down, no big deal. We'll just make Travis Kelce look like a Hall of Famer again. It doesn't matter. This team was supposed to be better than they were offensively last year. You take away Hollywood Brown, you take away Rashee Rice, you take away Isaiah Pacheco, and unlike a pathetic organization like the New York Jets, where nothing works even with talent, and we just talked about that a minute ago, the Chiefs, just like the Patriots, with lesser talent, get more out of their players. It's eerily similar to the Patriots days. Danny Amendola doesn't work anywhere else, is awesome with the Patriots. Doesn't matter. Juju Smith-Schuster doesn't work out with the Patriots. Works out perfectly for the Chiefs. Gets told to get out of town from the Steelers. Works out perfectly for the Chiefs. Travis Kelce looks like a shell of himself for the first 3 games. We'll just bring him out. He'll be fine. Isaiah Pacheco, our 6th round, 7th round running back that we drafted, he gets hurt. Okay, Carson Steele, Kareem Hunt, you can come figure it out. It doesn't matter. They just figure it out. Left tackle, right tackle, offensive line issues. Someone gets injured, we'll just plug and play. This is what good organizations do. This is what competency does. This is what cohesion does. This is what years together does. And you're seeing it with the Chiefs. I have nothing new to say outside of, oh yeah, They're absolutely the New England Patriots, just a 21st century version of them, which I guess doesn't really make any sense because we're already there anyways. But just the brand new version of the New England Patriots. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs are. Once one dynasty dies, a newer, better, and greater one takes its place. And that's what we're seeing here. They continuously get more out of less. Patriots with Julian Edelman, Patriots with Danny Amendola, Patriots with whatever running back they want to throw in that situation. The Kansas City Chiefs, Juju Smith-Schuster, sure. We lose the corner to the Titans. It's fine. We'll just figure it out. We know Trent McDuffie's just as good. This is what the Chiefs do. They're getting more out of less. And even if Patrick Mahomes struggles all the way through the season, he won't, but let's say he does. Is there still any quarterback you trust more? With 2 minutes to go, down 4, you need a touchdown to win the game? There's not. There's not a weakness on this team. It's not like it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, who we'll talk about later, who lean solely on defense, but close your eyes when they get on offense. When pen hits the paper, when you need Patrick Mahomes, when you need the offense, when you need Travis Kelce to break out of his funk, that's just what they do. That's just what they do. And honestly, to this point, it's getting kind of boring. It's looking just like the Patriots were. Boring. They're not going to surprise you with anything. Sure, they might get cute with a couple of trick play calls, but it's just boring. They will methodically break you down over the course of a long game. And that's exactly what we saw last night with the Saints. Derek Carr is feeling himself early in that game, is barking at the sidelines. Chiefs are fine. They don't worry about it. Just methodically will break you down over the course of the game. They are physical, but somehow still finesse. Those two things don't usually go together. The defense at this point is leading the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm not picking Patrick Mahomes to be the MVP like I did last year. He just hasn't been that good yet. But Rashee Rice out, Hollywood Brown out, Isaiah Pacheco out, starting offensive lineman goes down. It just doesn't matter. And it's not because the officials are in their back pocket, guy who put a bunch of money on the New Orleans Saints to cover. Maybe they're just better than your favorite team. Maybe because they don't look good offensively for the first half. We just know that they'll figure it out. They are situationally and in closeout clutch time situations the best in the NFL. And when you have that, plus cohesion, plus chemistry, plus years together, and a defense that is physical at the point of the attack and won't allow you to score more than 20 points in a game outside of Joe Burrow, you have no chance. And at this point, I didn't pick the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. 1, because I thought it was kind of boring. But 2, because it's just hard to get to the Super Bowl again. There is no team in the NFL I would pick comfortable. I would be comfortable picking against the Chiefs in a playoff situation. I've seen the Bills before. I've watched that story. I love Josh Allen. They're not doing it with Sean McDermott and the personnel that they have around him. I've seen the Ravens. They figure out a way to choke those games away every single time. They're not beating the Chiefs. The Texans are the only team that we haven't seen that potentially could dethrone the Chiefs, but I'm not picking them to do so. Second-year quarterback, second-year head coach. I just don't think they have the cohesion and chemistry to do that. Who on the NFC? The Lions would be fun, but are you really taking the Detroit Lions organization as a whole over the Kansas City Chiefs? The San Francisco 49ers. We on this show picked them to pull back, but they don't look even close to a Super Bowl team. What we learned last night from the Kansas City Chiefs is simply we have a new dynasty. There is no team that you should feel comfortable picking against them in a playoff situation. They are the New England Patriots